Hello again, Google World. I'm Ethan Zindler with Bloomberg New Energy Finance, a division of Bloomberg focused on the clean energy markets. I'm now it's my pleasure now to be joined today by Mayor Kasim Reed of Atlanta.
Thank you for
over
having
here
me.
as of the last day or so.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to ask, why'd you make the trip? What are you doing here?
I came because we need to take this on. And I think that this is the most important set of meetings on climate action, certainly since the Kyoto Protocol. And I think that fortunately the world is really moving and focusing on climate action and the impact of carbon in a way that we should have a long time ago. And so I felt that it was important as one of the leading cities in America, the leading city in the Southeast, to be a part of this conversation.
Now, Atlanta, one of the great cities in America, as you were just telling me a moment ago, 8th largest in the US. But in the state of Georgia, which has not been one of the, let's say, most forward-looking when it comes to embracing clean energy so far, what can you do as a municipal leader within the context of a state that really only more recently has started to do things on clean
Well, sure.
energy?
I mean, we're at the center of the 8th biggest metro. What we can do is act. I mean, the bottom line, as you know, Ethan, is if you're dealing with the 50 biggest metros in the United States, you're dealing with about 2/3 of the population and about 70% of GDP. And so I think that if we're going to act and not wait for Congress, which really isn't getting a lot done at all, it's more efficient for mayors across the United States of America to act in a decisive fashion. So, you know, in Atlanta, for us to make a decision about solar, which we just did, about electric vehicles, which we just did, it takes me and 8 council votes.
So tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing around electric vehicles.
Sure. Well, we have made the largest purchase in the history of the city for an electric vehicle fleet. Probably 2 to 4 weeks before that, we launched the biggest solar initiative to put solar on 28 buildings in the city of
When you say
Atlanta.
purchase of electric vehicles, are these going to be owned by the municipality for government?
We will either own them or we will have a joint venture relationship with a business. The bottom line is that we will take businesses that were traditionally powered by gas and we're going to convert to an EV fleet in a fashion that's the biggest that we've ever done in the history of the city and the biggest that any government in the state of Georgia
So
has
how
done.
many city cars or trucks are we talking about to become
I think that
electric
we're
vehicles?
talking somewhere between 50 to 150 vehicles over the term of the relationship.
And how are you going to charge those?
Excuse me?
How do you charge those?
We're going to charge them with our charging station. We got a charging
gonna build a
station,
charging station.
right outside City Hall.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have a charging station close, and we've been installing charging stations for some time. Not many people know it, but the city of Atlanta was really leading the country in electric vehicle sales because we had a very favorable electric vehicle tax credit.
I see.
So we're really excited about it.
And on the solar side, you mentioned an initiative that the municipality is pursuing as well.
Yes. So what I think is we always have to demonstrate the behavior we're talking about. And so we had no significant solar imprint. And what I asked my sustainability director was to take us into solar in an impactful way. And so we identified 28 buildings that were ideal for solar. And so we're implementing that initiative, and now we're getting ready to start implementing a major solar initiative at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which is the busiest passenger airport in the world. We handle about 100 million passengers a year.
I know that in Denver and other airports, they've made similar efforts in the past.
Yeah, so Mayor Hancock in Denver has launched a similar initiative. But first we started with the city's footprint, and now we're focusing on our airport.
So I get one last question, but it's an important one, I think. Within the context of American politics, you come over here, and you come back to many places you travel in the world, there is a consensus that climate change is real and it's a problem and it's sort of settled science. Not so much back home. How does that change?
Yeah, I don't think it's not so much. I think one party really owns climate denial. And I think that this is a conversation that we're just going to have to argue out and just to continue to stay at it and make the point. But fortunately, most of America's cities are led by people who do understand and trust 97% of the scientists.
Yeah.
And so I think that cities really drive the issue around carbon. So we will be the ones that persuade the rest of the country that this is real. The weather events across the United States of America, unfortunately, will be what I think changes the politics. But we can't wait in cities, and that's why I think it's so exciting about being a mayor, and why I think the local leaders meeting was so important. Going forward, about 75 to 80% of the pollution will occur in cities. And then over the next 10 to 20 years, by 2050, we're going to go from 3.9 billion people in cities to about 6.5 billion. So urban management is going to be the key to dealing with all of this. And I think that we can do a great deal of it, not all of it, without the help of the federal system.
Well, Mayor, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for giving me some time.
Mayor Kasim Reed, thanks again from the city of Atlanta. I'm Ethan Zindler with Bloomberg New Energy Finance. Thank you.